Seconds to get the number up there, especially the people who are coming in from Twitter, because I told them we would be starting at 3 o'clock, and well, it's 3 o'clock now. Okay, so we're going to get started here. Few things that we definitely want to discuss right off the bat. Tomorrow night is a very, very, very big night for Donald Trump. I think it is a critical night. Tomorrow night is a critical night for Donald Trump. That is the best way of saying it. This is the first time, as far as I'm concerned, that the president really takes on a national audience in a national stage in front of Congress. It is not an official State of the Union because there is this transition that we've just experienced. It's really not fair for the president to give you a State of the Union after he's only been in office for 45 days. But what it was a courtesy, if you will, given him by Representative Paul Ryan, who said, hey, how would you like to come and speak in front of Congress? And of course, President Trump said, sure, I'd love to do that. And that's what he's going to be doing. So that's taking shape tomorrow night. Why do I think this is such an important speech? It's very simple. The president has been tweeting, speaking, complaining about fake news more than anything else that there is out there. We did a thing the other night. I told you we did an analysis of all of his tweets since becoming president. And by and large, with really not a close second place, it is the war with the media that takes control of that Twitter. And because that narrative is put out by him, and because, by and large, the media can't stand him, or any Republican for that matter, the headlines have been stuck in this place. And the good things that the president has done to date, or at least the good initiatives that he has started to put in place, have been overlooked. And this morning, I cannot remember the name of the lady, my apologies in advance, but you know, I do this new thing every morning called, you send me in emails and I pick 3 out and I respond to them. And one of the emails came in from a lady who said, you know, and she put the number, and I can't remember what the number was, but it was something like $2.6 billion or whatever. It was a positive statistic that was on Fox Business by, I think the guy's name is Varney. And he put out this positive statistic about what has taken place in the business world or something with the deficit. I can't remember what it was. I mean, I could look it up. I'm not sure how important it is that I even say what it is. But I'll tell you what, why don't we just, for a matter of sake, why don't we get it? Because you know why I think it's important? This way you can send this out to your friends who tell you that Trump is not doing a good job, all right? So let me give you the exact statistic because I don't have it. It was from Amanda. Amanda sends me an email that says, why isn't anyone talking about this? Stuart Varney from Fox News says that the president has added $2.9 trillion to the economy. Okay. My response back to her was that President Trump's last 5 tweets, 2 of them were about the DNC election, who cares? 2 of them were about fake news, who cares? And 1 of them was about his dinner last night with the governors. And to the most degree, basically the tweet was a who cares tweet. I would love to see the president taking that tweet right there and blasting that not once, not twice, but 3 or 4 times. And he did on, I think it was February 25th, put out a tweet that said, hey, the deficit has come down a bit since I've been in office. Fantastic. But it's sort of like what Rush Limbaugh calls the drive-by media. That's the drive-by tweet. that tweet gets lost in the other ones. So, and I don't want to keep on hammering on the tweets because I know that it upsets many of you. So let me say this. Tomorrow, if the President of the United States gets up on that stage and focuses simply and specifically on things like this, it will go a long way. If I were in the President's circle and it came around to me and he said, all right, DML, what do you think for tomorrow night? I'd say, President, I don't think anything. I know. We have right now a PR problem. Some of it we are battling because it's called the liberal media, and it's always been like that, dating back to Reagan. They crushed him like they're trying to crush you. But we've brought some of this upon ourselves, and it's still very early in the game. So early in the game that we can literally hit a light switch and all the darkness will be gone. Let's focus in on the strong accomplishments we've made in the 45 days that we've been here. And let's not deliver that message in a us versus them. Let's make this about all of us. Better border security in place. Better jobs coming out. Meeting with CEOs every single day of all different levels of the economy. People are bringing jobs back. The jobs number so far in January exceeded expectations. Stock markets looking to the future and saying, wow, we love Trump. Taking the deficits down, adding more revenues into everybody's pocket, and oh, by the way, including yours. Because here's what I'd like to do with taxes over the next couple of weeks into the next couple of months. And I know a lot of you have been heading to these town halls because you've got some nervousness about what's taking place with Obamacare. And I want to let you know this is what's happening behind the closed doors. Here's what's happening in the meetings that I'm holding on a daily basis. Just had 46 governors at the White House, and we talked about this specific sort of thing. I want to address it for you all right now so I can strip away any concerns whatsoever. And Mr. President, you should lay that out. Boom, 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 boom. Simple, easy to understand. Don't got to get into a lot of detail, but give strong bullet points where you remove any questions. Give strong bullet points where you leave nothing for the imagination, for the mainstream media to tackle. And do not say the word fake combined with the word news, not one time. Ignore fake news, ignore mainstream media as if it never, ever existed. Let's turn that switch now. You can say something to the extent of, despite maybe what you have read or heard, let me tell you exactly what is taking place, because I, unlike anybody else that you may be hearing these things from, I'm in the meetings, and here is what is happening. I would also address, Mr. President, that you are not blind to the fact that there is some unsettlement, if you will, out in the United States. That you recognize that not everybody out there voted for you. And you recognize that that's the American way. And that you are fighting for those people, for their safety, for their health, and for their jobs, equally as much as you are the people who have Trump bumper stickers. If you do that for 60 minutes straight, and you don't get off teleprompter, and you don't say about how great you are, and you don't tell us how there was voter fraud and all this other stuff. If you stay focused on the road ahead and the things that matter most when it comes to making America great again, all of this crap we've been dealing with for 45 days, it's going to be in the rearview mirror, sir. And not only is it going to be in the rearview mirror, we're going to be able to turn a corner and never have to see it again. Now, that's not to say that the press isn't going to come out and try to hit us in the kneecaps on every single day that we're here. But for as long as we dominate the narrative, we put them on their heels. Now, let me tell you, because I know that we've been, some of us have been hashing it out over the last couple of days. I get the emails. I still love all of you. DML, what are you doing? Stop bashing on the president. I'm not bashing on the president. I'm not bashing on the president. It's like me seeing my kid getting 75s on his math tests when I know he's capable of a 92. And so I'm going to continue to sit there and say to that child, because I love that child with all my heart, you are so much better than a 75. You are so much better than 3 out of 4. You can get into those 90s. You can get into those 90s, Denny. I used to do this with my son all the time. You are positioned to be the best in your math class, but you're getting distracted. You're too distracted. Focus in on what we got to focus in on. Let's make strides. Let's get from 75 to 85 to 92. And you know what? One of these days we'll get to 100. Don't worry about the fact if somebody over there is telling you that you're not capable of getting to the 90s. You know you are. Stay focused. If you stay focused, you know there's nobody better than you. Don't let these other people throw you off your game. This is not something that Trump does not understand. This is something that Trump has actually done before. And I will prove it to you right now. The way that Donald Trump became president, whether you want to recognize it or not, Democrats, whether you want to recognize it or not, media, this is the way he became president. Right here, right now. That man beat a drum till it was broken. Build a wall, Mexico pays for it. 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 Build a wall, he was like a machine. It became so much that I bet you when he sat down to go to the bathroom, he was like, hey, build a wall and Mexico pay for it. And by the way, we got no toilet paper. Yeah. When he went to a restaurant to order a steak, he said, yeah, I'll have a steak and build a wall and Mexico's going to pay for it. It became part of him. He knew how to say nothing else. You know, nothing else. Nothing else. If Ivanka came in and said, hey, Dad, how's it going today? He says, you know, we're going to build a wall. Mexico's going to pay for it. That is controlling the narrative, saying it over and over and over and over and over again. He keeps beating that drum like he did back then. He keeps saying, make America great again, make America great again, make America great again, make America great again, make America great again. I mean, we're all robots. Make America great again. We all got our red hats and make America great again, make America great again. What happened? What happened? The media had no choice but to focus on the wall, to focus on, well, who's going to pay for it? Mexico, we're not going to pay for it. He dictated the narrative. And so the narrative, DML, we love you. You're so smart. Yeah, you want to know something? Yeah, yes, this is what I've been trying to communicate to you. The narrative became about immigration. The mainstream media tried to make it about Trump. And he wants to build a wall, keep people out. And people were sitting at home like, yeah. Whether they read the CNN title, the New York Times title, the Fox title, the DML Walk Talk, it was about building a wall. And that ultimately drives into, why do we need a wall? And that's controlling the narrative. That's controlling what the conversation is. And so everything came in on immigration. And so people who were always wondering why it was that their kids' school now was filled with kids who didn't speak English. What people were thinking about, wow, I always wondered why there's 50 guys now outside the Home Depot every time I go to buy myself a plunger. Why are these guys here attacking me, asking me if they need me to fix the toilet bowl? When they didn't understand why that was, Trump brought that narrative to the front and forward by saying, we're going to build a wall, Mexico's going to pay for it. We're going to build a wall, Mexico's going to pay for it. We're going to build a wall, Mexico's going to pay for it. And that controlled the narrative. And that is how President Trump became President Trump. Make America great again, make America great again, make America great again, make America great. What happened? He kept on hitting those drums. And so now Cruz and Rubio, picture Cruz and Rubio and Huckabee and everybody else, the mainstream media. They're like, wait a second, how do we stop this guy? How do we take him down? And so they're trying to take all these different things, tax returns. And he said, build a wall and Mexico's going to pay for it. Build a wall and Mexico's going to pay for it. You didn't care about, grab him by the crotch. You didn't care about the tax returns. You didn't care about the 3 marriages. You didn't care about the 4 bankruptcies. Because all you heard was, build a wall, Mexico's going to pay for it. Build a wall, keep America safe again, keep America great again, keep America rich again. That's controlling the narrative. That's what I have been trying to convey to you. That is what I have been begging to sit in front of the president and say, give me 10 minutes. It's taken me now 13, I apologize. Give me 10 minutes. Because this is so easy to articulate. But the fact of the matter is that the President of the United States is overwhelmed. It's a job that none of us can understand. It's like having to babysit 25 kids and you're saying, oh my God, what am I gonna do? It's been 2 hours, I gotta get rid of this, what do I do? It's like he's got 25 kids pulling at his leg 24 hours a day, every single day. And haters hating him. Yeah, I get it. And then that personal part comes into him. And that personal part says, wait, I'm a good man. Why do you keep on saying all these things? Wait, I didn't have any relationships with Russia. Why are you saying this? Why are you saying this? And so what he does is he gets caught up in that. The human side of him gets caught up in that. And he forgets what brought him to that magical seat. He has to control the narrative. Tomorrow night, as far as I'm concerned, is a big, huge reset button for him. It's a big, huge reset button for him to control the narrative and to make all eyes on the fact that we no longer are involved in TPP. It's to get all eyes on the fact that, hey, have you noticed some of these deportations have been taking place? All eyes on the fact that, hey, Border Patrol is really happy again. All eyes on the fact that, yes, listen, repealing and replacing Obamacare isn't something I could do exactly overnight. If I did it overnight, my goodness, I wouldn't have a good insurance system for you. Let me continue to work on this. You're not going to be without your insurance right now, so don't worry about it. All he has to do is talk to people. Talk to them about them and the concerns they have, and forget about himself for one single night and the hits that he's taking and the successes that he has in this world. I'll give you an example of where I saw it last night. I just said, come on, man, come on. Last night he had a dinner with the governors. It's called the Governor's Dinner. There's the New Yorker in me. Dinner. And it is the governors from around the country come to D.C. for basically they're having, it's one of these conferences for all the governors to come together. And part of that every year annually is they have this governor's ball. And it is the first chance for the First Lady to kind of show off the White House and, hey, look what I've done with it and this and that. It's a gala. It's black tie. It's the whole thing. So President Trump gets up there and believe it or not, he went to the side of brevity and he kept it nice and short. And he got up and said, hey, it's been a really interesting 4 weeks. It's been a lot of fun. And we've accomplished everything, or almost everything was his exact words, almost everything we've set out to do. I thought that was a little strong of a statement. Maybe should have changed those words a little bit. Like we've been working hard and trying to accomplish all of our things and we keep on continuing. But he said what he said. And then he said, and by the way, I want to thank all of you for coming. There's 46 of you here tonight. And from what I hear, that's a record of how many governors have ever been to a thing. And right then and there, he was more concerned with letting everybody know that there were more governors at his party than there was at Obama's and Reagan's and all the other different stuff. It's irrelevant. And because of where we are right now, that little tiny statement, which would otherwise go overlooked, now becomes the statement of all the statements he said, because it's another bullet to put in the gun and saying this guy's ego is just getting in the way of everything. And so things like that, small little things like that, if we could turn those things off, tiny, turn those things off and turn on just saying, you know what, I want to say something about the 46 of you being here tonight. It's a big crowd. That is wonderful. And every single one of the states who has a governor represented here tonight should be proud of you because you're here working hard for your constituents. Ding! Same message, but changed. It becomes about the people and the governors versus about Donald Trump just made a record about 46 people coming to a dinner black tie. Who gives a damn? And these are the sort of things. Now, he's a smart man. He should know this. And I'm not suggesting by any stretch of the imagination we peel away his ego because, my goodness, one of the most viral videos I've ever put out in my life is when I said, hey, Donald Trump's ego, if you don't like it, step back. Let it work for you. Let him want to be the best president in the world. But there comes a time when your ego actually works and then your ego actually works against you. And I think he's on that slippery slope where if he continues down that line where we are right now, we're going to be headed for disaster. If he can pull it back right now, we never have to talk about this again. Now, this just isn't me speaking. I get the emails. I only put out 3 a day, but they come in the hundreds. The comments come in the thousands. I got an email the other day from a guy, if you're listening now, he owns a construction company. I'm sorry, pal, I get so many different people. But I think the guy's construction company is somewhere here on the East Coast. I was going to say New Hampshire, but I think I'm wrong. And he said, look, man, I listen to you every day, DML, and I know you're getting a little bit of, people are kicking you back or whatever, but I agree with you. I was all excited when he was coming into the presidency. I got my business. I'm starting to hire more people. I'm getting all excited. I'm not going to have to pay for this Obama scare stuff. And I'm mad living for him. But there was an excitement level. And he says now, only after 30 days, he's starting to get concerned that this is all going to be 4 years of a war between the press and Trump, and we're not going to get anything accomplished like we really need to get accomplished. So when you start seeing that and hearing that from people, it's not just yours truly sitting here saying it to you. It's I'm giving you back what I'm seeing and hearing and feeling on my own, and I'm hearing from you guys say it back. The great news is tomorrow night can be that reset button. Now, the next night, if I come back here and say to you, well, he said fake news 37 times, then you can imagine what the conversation is. And at that point, it's going to be really hard for me to find my positive Peter inside me. You know what I'm talking about? Now, that said, let's shift gears to something else that I think is important for you to know. The president came out today and he is proposing what's going to be his first budget. He wants to take military spending and go whoosh, which I think is fantastic. If there's one thing, in fact, it was $54 billion of whoosh. Now, before you go getting all the concerns, say, wait, DML, I love the Navy carriers as much as you do, but $54 billion, wow, that's a lot of money. How are we going to pay for all that? Okay. Well, what he's doing is he wants to have military spending go like this and nonsense government spending go like this. So he pretty much wants to take from here and put to here. I love that. Now, DC is going to hate that because you're going to get a lot of people in DC who are going to see their jobs go away, you're going to see lobbyists who are going to see their money go away. You're going to see people who are going to resist this left and right, especially the Democrats. But Donald Trump will get the support, I'm sure, of his Republican Party. Now, when you take a look at our Navy, for instance, our Navy is shrunk to a level that we haven't seen, and I think it's almost nearly 100 years. It has been depleted. When you look at different reports, you go to some of these military websites, and they'll tell you that in order to repair a tank, or a plane, or any of their materials whatsoever, they're actually taking parts, ancient used parts from like decades ago, and putting it together. They're fixing things with a Band-Aid. And because this is what Obama did. Obama took all the money and he spent it on everything but the military, right? And he put in money into things that it was just like, why are we spending that there? Yeah, and that's what he did. So what Trump is trying to do is he's trying to change that around. He's trying to build back our military. He's trying to get back to being the strongest power in the world, bar none, and making sure that he keeps this country safe, not just today, not just in 3 years from now, but in decades from now, because Obama's damage, I don't even think most people here on the screen understand how much the damage is. It's sort of like termites underneath your home. You don't see those termites and the damage that they've done until it's too late. And so everything Obama has done is like termites. And he's saying, whoa, wait a second. We got to reverse the ship. Now, I wrote a couple things down for today because I know you guys love statistics. Okay. The BLM, the Bureau of Land Management. Basically, if you guys are familiar with the Bundy thing and all the other, the Bureau of Land Management is a big, huge nothing that is responsible for managing property throughout the United States. Millions upon millions upon millions of acres. A lot of this stuff, a lot of these acres are just like no man's land. Okay. The BLM will sit there and pick on the Bundys and try to grab grazing fees from them because they're trying to protect turtles, so they say. But meanwhile, the BLM also manages an incredible amount of property along the southern border. And of all the times yours truly has been down there, filming the border, staying overnight, crossing over into Mexico, working with the Border Patrol, you know how many members of the BLM I've seen down there in all my years? Do, 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 do. 0. I have never seen a 1. But I did see about 100 of them take M16s right to my face. But never did I ever see one trying to defend our border or collecting a fee from the drug cartels. Hey, by the way, Mr. Mexico drug cartel, if you're going to be coming through this area right here, it's BLM managed, and I know you have all that cocaine and all the other contraband you have. You got to at least pay us a fee for using our property. Never, ever once. Do you know what the budget is for the BLM? $1.1 billion in 2014. Basically to do nothing. Okay. Now, next, the EPA. Do you know what the EPA's budget was in 2016? Come on. 4 billion DML. No. 5 billion DML. No. $8.1 billion. Right there is $9.2 billion. Yeah. Obama and his healthcare website, which basically sucks, over $1 billion. Wait a second. Ready for this one? Wait until I tell you this one. I don't know if you know this or not. If you did know it, you probably forgot it. It has taken nearly a decade for immigration to take the forms, the immigration forms, and digitize them. So instead of you're an immigrant from wherever and you want to fill out a form, you gotta fill out all the stuff in the pen. My pen's out of ink. Can't get another pen. Instead of all that, the archaic stuff, folding it up, putting it in the envelope, put a stamp, and hope it gets there. They say, hey, why don't we digitize this? Oh, there's an idea. Okay, so they wanted to take the forms and digitize it and put it on there. In almost a decade. And oh, by the way, $3.1 billion. Woohoo! $3.1 billion. Guess how much we've got? One form. The rest of the forms, you still got to write out. So when you hear the president say that he wants to spend $54 billion on expanding and strengthening our military, and your friend, your sister Susie, who's the socialist, or your liberal librarian, Lacey, who says, I can't stand Trump. Now he wants to spend $54 billion. It was enough money that he was spending to go to Mar-a-Lago, but now he wants to spend... Just bring out this stuff to her. Yeah. Just be like, do you know we're spending $3.1 billion? What Trump wants to do is he wants to strip that away. So he's going to strip that away so we don't pay for this crap anymore, and we take that money and shift it over here. Now, I trust a businessman who has a very long history of coming in under budget and faster than a project is supposed to be done. I trust him in being able to do this. I really do. Boy, oh boy, he better not let us down on this one. But I trust him to do this. And oh, by the way, if we need to grab some money from somewhere, like we come, I don't know, $1 billion and $1 short, how about we take away some of the money, the foreign aid that we're sending to people? How about we take some of that money back? Like, I don't know, Pakistan? Is there a reason why we had to give Pakistan $1.1 billion in 2015? Oh yeah, I've got it right here on the screen. You'd love my screen. I'm going to show you my screen in a couple minutes. Is there a reason why we've given that much money? Why are we taking any taxpayer money and sending it to any country that either harbors a terrorist, not even, no harboring of any terrorists. You harbor terrorists. See ya. Yeah. You have people, you're letting people throw gays off the roof. You're beating on people because they're having premarital sex. We did a story about that one today in Indonesia. Beating these people to the point where they can't even breathe because they had premarital sex. You do stuff like that, you vote against us in the UN, I'm gonna pay for my military. Yeah, what about that? America first. Remember that? You're talking about beating the drum? Let's go back. Talking about beating the drum? How many times did he say America first, 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 America first? Went through your head, right? That sounds a lot better than fake news, fake news, fake news, fake news, fake news, fake news. Let's get back to that. America first, America first, America first, America first, America first, America first. That's all it takes. Yeah. Now, before we jump off here, a couple of little things that you need to know. Tomorrow night, prior to the president giving his speech, Rosie O'Donnell, trying to get herself out of the complete irrelevant box, she is right now reportedly going to spearhead protests in front of the White House. I'm not sure what she's going to be protesting about, but she's going to be protesting. Yeah. So she's going to be trying to make a scene of herself. This sort of thing didn't work much for Alec Baldwin. It certainly didn't work anything for Michael Moore, but now Rosie's going to try. So they can continue to do that. Let's just hope that nothing gets lit on fire, no people are killed. Let's just hope that they could just sit there and hold their sign, and they could say that Donald sucks, and okay, we got you. You be okay now. Donald shouldn't even pay any attention. He shouldn't tweet anything about Rosie. He should pretend like they're not even there. Unless, of course, they start riots and they hurt people. Then Donald should definitely say something, and I should give him more respect. President Trump should say something. Yes, all right? Also, I asked you today in a poll, hold on, let me find the results because I have not looked at them yet today. No, I have not. I'm going to show you our monitor wall, yeah, before I go too. We asked you a poll. Did you boycott the Oscars? Okay. I'm looking at this for the first time. The poll has been shared 40,000 times in a couple hours. So there you go. That tells you how much you guys liked the poll. So let's see what we got here. View results. Yes, 83% of you boycotted the Oscars. 11% of you never watched the Oscars. So you say, hey, I wasn't going to be there to begin with. You really shouldn't chalk it up as a boycott. But for the sake of making ourselves feel good, let's just say it was a boycott. And then you've got 5% no, so they watched it. So if you did watch it, and I watched portions of it only because I have to report about it, it was sweet justice. Sweet justice, what happened last night. Right? First you got this Jimmy, whatever his name is, I don't know what the hell's his name, Jimmy Kimmel, right? He's up there and he refers to our president as a racist. I mean, on worldwide television. That is a dirtbag. I hope you never watch his show again. That is a dirtbag. Okay, then we've got the Iranian girl who wins foreign film. Shocker. And she wins, but she's not going to take her award because she's banned the Oscars. She's boycotted them. She's out. She's out. I'm not doing it because of the temporary immigration ban, which, oh, by the way, isn't in effect anymore. But she's not coming. She's not coming. Whose loss, sweetheart? Yours or ours? I think it's yours. You didn't get to come to America and take home a little Oscar, which is basically really meaningless. I could take a little statue and paint it gold for you and give it to you if you want to, if that's what you need. So I love these Oscars, don't you? They all give each other awards so they make each other feel good. Oh my God, you're the best. You're the best. Look at your dress. You're beautiful. No, you're beautiful. No, you are. Yeah. You want to know something? I think all those movies suck. I can't find anything. La La Land. I can't find anything worth watching. Where's the good old movies? I mean, I can't stand Jane Fonda, but On Golden Pond was great. Where's On Golden Pond? Where's anything? I can't find a good movie anywhere. La La Land. Yeah, okay. All right. So anyway, so after every single liberal on planet Earth gets to get up and give their anti-Trump speech, after they all get to get up and give their political speech, well, then it turns out to be the finally best film. So what happens? Warren, liberal Beatty, gets up there next to Faye, liberal Dunaway. And they're going to sit there and just a lot more noise. It's like, when does this end? And so they sit there, and Warren Beatty looks down, and you can tell he was a little bit confused. And the Oscar goes to, what do you think, Faye? Faye goes, La La Land. And so what happens? Ah! Everybody from La La Land, they're all, ah! They come up, they're like, yeah! I want to thank my mom and my dad and my milkman and everybody in La La Land. Like, stop! You didn't win. What? I didn't win? Give me that back. Like a liberal. Not even professional. Did you see that? Wasn't even professional. It wasn't like you or I would go out there and be like, oh, you know what? I humbly have to come out here and say that Mr. Beatty grabbed the wrong envelope. We're so sorry. As a consolation prize, you get to be on Jimmy Kimmel tomorrow night. No. What do? They're like, oh, that's not your trophy. Give it back. On live television. Give it back. Poor guy sitting up there like, we didn't really win. It's, oh, what's it called? Moonlight. Moonlight's like, is this a joke? Oh, wait. Where's the candid camera? No, it wasn't a joke. Warren Beatty was just so busy, like all the rest of these lying liberals, they're just so busy banging on Trump that they couldn't get the envelope right. So Beatty's sitting there reading the envelope of Emma Stone from La La Land from the award behind. These people, say it for me, you know what it's coming with the big B. These Democrats cannot find their buttocks with both hands. They just can't do it. So it was sweet justice. There was sweet justice that somebody up there said, you want to keep on kicking on the president? Let's make you look like fools. And there you go. Oh, it was great. It was great. Miss Mary was sitting there. She's like, I think something's going on. What's going on over there? I said, I don't know what's going on. I'm writing something. And I looked at it. I said, oh, this is great. This is great. I hope President Trump is sitting home saying, boneheads. Yeah. These are the people who vote for Hillary. It says a lot. All right, so before we get off here, also want to let you know on the whole, ties to Russia thing. There was one man came out today. I can't remember his name. Is Noon, something to that extent. And based on all the investigations that they've been doing so far, they can't find a single bit of evidence that says that Donald J. Trump, the president, or Donald J. Trump, the candidate, or any of his team members did anything unethical or did any sort of, side room deals on the phone with any Russian intelligence. None. Nada. Sorry to disappoint you, Democrats. But, once in a while, you may want to just give up the BS because it's really, you're going down a rat hole. But I told you, your buddy DML told you back in November, what did I say? They're going to use this Russia thing for as long as they can. And that's where we are. All right. So, I'm going to show you a couple of little things. Oh, by the way, I don't know if you guys get to see it last night or not, but we posted a couple of videos. Somebody has asked me, I often forget. Let me say, I often forget. I mean, we have, if you take our two Facebook pages together, it's like 1.2 million people. You take all the different stuff, and we got, 1.5 million people following us on social media. And I mean, we get what, 3, 4, 5, depending on the day, 1,000 people here every single day. I always take for granted that you guys have been with me forever, and maybe that's because we feel like we know each other, even when we disagree. But you know, the fact of the matter is most of you have been with me now for the past 6 months because our numbers on social media have really doubled over that point in time. So a lot of you have never heard of me before. And so, you know, I keep on getting these emails from people. I want to know more. How do you know all this stuff? So finally, I was like, you know what? I'm not answering these emails, and people are going to think that I'm trying not to answer it. So I'll answer one person, one time, and I'll just always use that link whenever I answer for that one. So I put up a video of Miss Mary, love of my life, greatest woman, greatest mother on planet Earth, where she gave a speech in Arizona a couple of years ago when I was exploring running for office. They had a big, huge party for us, a big, huge event out in Arizona, about 800 people. It was really fantastic. And then yours truly also spoke. And then also there's a video out there of the recording of my last night at Newsmax. So we put those 3 things up there. You could find it. It's on there. I think it's, what does it say on there? I think it's something to the point of, let me give it to you so you could search it in case you didn't see it. Because the amount of response that we have gotten from that, I didn't think I was going to get a whole lot of response. I thought, it'd be one of those things. But it has really done well. And I appreciate all the lovely things that you have said about my wife. She is amazing. If you search for, I'll tell you, if you just search for Miss Mary Explains at the Dennis Michael Lynch site, you'll see the 3 videos. And if you only have one to watch, forget about yours truly. Watch Mary's 5-minute video. It's fantastic. So I wanted to say thank you for all those lovely notes. Tonight I'll sit down with Mary and I will share all the beautiful things that you have said about her. And she is a wonderful person. That said, you want to see the big monitor wall? Let me show you something. I think he's got, Harlan's been working on this stuff. Anyway, one of the things Harlan set up for me, smart kid. See, I got all my monitors here. I got all news all the time. And that's what this room is going to be by the time we're done and we have all of our people in here. A couple of weeks, we're all set. All right, let me show you. Oh, he's got it. Yeah, check this out. This is pretty cool. And I hate to bring up her name, but Lori, the woman Lori, who told me she didn't like my monitor wall. Check this out, Lori. Come on. That's cool. Check that out. It says DML Deli. Let me give you a little Harlan. Right? Yeah, surprise Harlan. I'll get my kiss. All right. There you go. So yeah, so basically, Harlan here.
Hey
Harlan
guys.
Here. He wired this whole little thing together. Check it out. All right, DML Deli, the whole thing. Yeah, Harlan, go over there, stand there. Let's put this in perspective. Check that thing out.
This is 11 feet wide.
There we go. There we go. Right? He did the whole thing. Right? Now he's putting together this whole. Go ahead. Just come over here. Yeah. This kid's so talented. Come on. So it's like, Harlan, put together this thing. So I want to show this to you because there's a big, huge thing. We bought this with the donations. Yeah. Sit down. Yeah. Go ahead. So we got this mixer. We bought this video mixer. It's a Sony video mixer. And this guy right here hooked up the whole thing. Yeah. Takes all the cameras, puts it all together. Fox News right here. Fox News in the kitchen. Yeah. Yep. You can tell we have no women here because look. It's kind of like, it's really like a guy's cave at this point. It is getting gory, right? It's getting very guyish. And for those of you who want me to get a haircut, my haircutting guy, especially for those of you who call me a racist, my haircutting guy is actually from, he is a descendant of, well, actually I should say he's an immigrant from Saudi Arabia. So he's back in Saudi Arabia. There's Timmy.
Hello.
Good kid. I think he's a liberal, though. I'll have to fix that. Anyway, my hair cutter is in Saudi Arabia. I'm gonna go short. I gotta get back to walking. I'm out of breath walking up and down the stairs. You know that? It's horrible. All right. So anyway, I wanted to show you some of that. The monitor wall, furniture's coming in. I mean, we're getting everything all put together. It's fantastic. Just want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you for all the donations. I want to repeat it. Not $1 of any of those donations have gone in my pocket. Not one. And that's always the way it will be. I will not take any of that money. It's not mine. It's yours. You gave it for a specific reason. And we're using it for those exact reasons. So you will be proud of what it is that we develop. And we're almost there. I know that it looks like, hey, you still got work to do. All this stuff is all ordered. I'm just waiting for it all to come in. Comes in next week or the week after. And so right after that, it's just going to be like, and we're all going to be all good. So I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. Go to DennisMichaelLynch.com/donate if you could pitch in. We need more stuff. For as long as it keeps on flowing, I'll keep on buying more stuff that we need. When it stops flowing, we'll do with what we got, and we'll make the best of it. And that's that. And for those of you who have not downloaded the app, you got to download the app. You go to the iOS store, or you go to the Google Play Store, and you just search for Dennis Michael Lynch, you download the app. Now, a couple things about the app. First and foremost, if you don't have notifications turned on in the app, I think you're making a huge mistake. Huge mistake. Because we're one of the biggest, I keep on saying the biggest thing we get, we get so much stuff from you guys, but we get so many questions about, is this fake? Is this real? Is this fake? Is this real? You don't have to worry about that anymore. If you have the notifications and you see, we're putting up the news that I can tell you is real. You know, if it's not real, I don't put it up. If I can't confirm it, I'm not putting it up. For instance, you know how many of you sent me the thing, oh, Time Warner is not going to be renewing CNN's contract. They're kicking them off because they're lying fake media. Go try to find that on my website. You're not going to see it. Why aren't you going to see it? DML, do you love CNN? No, it's not a matter of loving CNN or hating CNN. It's the fact of the matter is that we couldn't confirm that it was true. And when we looked into it, we said, it's typical stuff. It's not true. So that's why you should have the notifications. If you don't have the notifications, all it does is just becomes another square on your phone. And that's why. And I can tell who's got the notifications and who doesn't have the notifications. Can't tell it specifically. I can tell how many of you have. And so far, we've had about 45,000 people download the app. And right now, we have just over 30,000 with the notifications. That means too many of you aren't. It's just sitting on your app and you can say, oh yeah, all right, I downloaded it. But you're not getting the information you need. You got to get it. And if you don't have the app because you don't have one of those fancy schmancy phones, yeah, sooner or later, yes, we are going to have it on desktops and we're going to have it on all that other stuff. Now, one other thing about the app. Some of you have told us that you're having this problem where you're reading an article and it refreshes itself, or you're reading an article and it takes you to the app store, or you're reading an article and it goes white page. Okay, that's not the app. That's the Dennis Michael Lynch website. And oh, by the way, that thing that you're complaining about, that was from one single ad that got itself in there. And I have officially rid of the company who was managing that for us. They're gone. So starting on March 1st, we here internally are managing all that stuff ourselves. So any little tiny problems you had, they should be history. And oh, by the way, you should always update your app if you ever get a chance. That's that. I think I'm dragging it on too long. See, I lost a couple hundred of you. For those of you still sticking on here, who send me the hate mail, come on, we're on the same team. You know, we can always agree to disagree to agree, or whatever it may be. Yeah, we're on the same team. I'm your buddy. Yeah. For those of you who say to me that I have a huge ego, maybe I do. Maybe I don't. Doesn't matter. Got a big heart. The heart's bigger than the ego. Yeah. Be nice. That's what my father used to say. It's nice to be nice. It's a shame he didn't follow his advice. Either way. All right, until tomorrow, when I think that I will be doing the walk and talk with you again. I miss it. Harlan's good. Harlan's great. Maybe we'll do a thing with me and Harlan tomorrow. Who knows? Either way, until tomorrow, God bless you. God bless our troops. God bless the United States of America. May God bless every single person who sent a donation for us, so this way we can do what it is we're doing. Until tomorrow. Adios, amigos.